Miles, coming to get live once again with another live stream. What's going on with y'all, family? What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's up, family? I'm just out and about right about now. You know what I mean? Taking care of business. But I wanted to come to y'all with this message right ahead, right about now, because I really wanted y'all to, hear this type of message today because it's a message that needs to be heard and needs to be talked about. And I'm quite sure many of y'all can relate. I'm quite sure many of y'all can relate, to this subject. Give me 1 second. Hey, y'all, what's up, family? Yeah, I wanted to come to y'all with this subject because it needs to be talked about, and it's real. Because from what I've been seeing as of lately, I've been checking out many different articles and stuff like that, and I've been checking out many different type of like YouTube videos, and from like what I've been seeing, I'm seeing we are really living in a time frame where children are cutting off their parents. Parents, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all are failing. A lot of your parental skills are very inadequate. This generation, like Generation Z, even millennials, even Generation X, but in particular, Generation Z, they are not honoring y'all. So many adult children out here are cutting off their parents. Why? Because of the narcissism that y'all have been giving y'all children. In particular, baby boomers, even Generation X. Y'all are in deep trouble. Y'all are in deep trouble. Why? Because your children are saying the hell with y'all. I've been looking at videos on narcissism and I've been checking out things on parental estrangement. Let me tell you something, y'all. Parents, y'all are in deep, deep trouble. And the reason why I'm saying y'all are in deep trouble is because of your parenting skills and the way how you treat your children. Let me tell you something. We are in the times of the Bible where the children are separated from their parents. They cutting off their whole families. Do you know how many articles I read? I'm seeing, yo, I read an article on the hell, and they are saying right now they are saying that children are cutting off their parents like never before. It's called parental estrangement. Parental estrangement. Yes, they said 1/4 of adult children estranged from a parent, which means they are cutting off their parents. The parents ain't cutting them off, it's the children. And parents, you really gotta ask yourself the question, what kind of parent am I? What am I doing wrong? What have I done wrong? Just like when it came down to like me and my mother, I cut off my mother. When my mother, like I said, I forgave my mother, but before she hit y'all finish the music page, but before she passed, we got into a serious argument, and she said, "You like your sorry ass father," and that right there, it crushed me. Hey, Backward Banji, it crushed me when she said that. And that was the reason why I went to Colorado because I wanted to cut ties and I wanted to move on with my life. I still love my mother, but I wanted to separate, from her. You feel what I mean? Because I felt crushed and I felt like it is about the time that I start my own lineage. Yup, and I think that crushed her. She probably felt like my son is gone for good. And I think that really hurt my mother. I think that, right, they think that they are entitled to your life. You're not entitled to a child's life. Your child is not a bank. Your child doesn't owe you anything. It is your job to help raise up a child. You feel me? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love my mother and I forgave my mother. But I had to admit, when she said that, it crushed the hell out of me. And it had me to get real distant. That's why I left it when I went to Colorado. You feel me? Right, you feel me? Because I wanted to be separated from my mother. And I kind of did it to prove a point like, look what you did to drive me away from here. So my brother was in Connecticut and I was in Colorado. She probably felt like, damn, both of my sons are gone. And right after when I left, my mother died. So that probably really caused her to go into depression. See, right after I left, it really crushed my mother because she probably felt, damn, my boy is now gone. I don't got none of my sons around me anymore. Yes, none of my sons are around anymore. And see, like I said, me and my brother both agreed like she was bitter. My mom, she was a good mom, but as a regular woman, she was bitter. It caused me and my brother to be away from her. You feel me? And let me tell you something. Y'all, as parents, you got to look at what you're doing and how you're treating your children. And you wonder why your child is cutting you off. We in biblical times heavy, where the children are rebellious. They are not listening to you. Yo, you hear what I said? This is an epidemic right now. It's not a fad. It's not a fad. They are cutting you off and want nothing to do with you. They are finding solace by being separated from y'all. Children are saying, I'm breaking the cycle of narcissism and I'm going to start my own life. Meaning they gonna find their own family and build up their own, or they're gonna get around the people that they feel like family. That's why we say all family ain't blood, and all blood ain't family. We don't owe you anything. They not even honoring y'all. They don't even believe in the biblical adage anymore, honoring thy mother and thy father. You want to know why? Because you don't honor your children. You're not respecting your children. You're not letting them grow. A lot of y'all as parents, you treat your child like it's a damn bank or an accessory. A lot of y'all not even raising your children. A lot of y'all are babysitting them. You're not biological parents, you are biological babysitters. Meaning the child is biologically yours, but you're not raising them. You're babysitting them. The first thing some of y'all do when you come home is put your child in front of this or tablet. How the fuck is that raising your child? You need to, like, how often are you in your child's life? How often do you listen to your child? How often do you spend time with them? The reason why, because you overworking yourself and you are distancing yourself from your children. That's why your child grows up rebellious. It is sad. A lot of y'all do not know how to raise your children. And you don't know how to talk to your children, and you don't respect your children. Some of y'all talk to your children like they wanted the niggas on the street. You're supposed to train up a child in the way he or she may go. That's your job, not to try to hold on and tell them, oh, you owe it to us. No, that is a form of narcissism. You cannot control your child's life. You cannot control your child's life. You need to let them grow and let them grow. You need to let them grow up. You need to let them to go be who they are. You gotta let them grow up in this world and to have their own mindset. You can't control them. You understand? Your child's mind is not yours. Your child's mind does not belong to you. That is a child. They listen, that is your child. But you got to understand something. But you got to really understand something. And another thing is, well, some of y'all as family members, you want to be treating somebody else's child. You want to treat somebody else's child like they a crack for real. And some of y'all will really want to get mad, all because the mother and the father ain't work out. When the child looks like the father, you want to treat them the way, right? You want to treat them the same way how you treated the father. That's not right. And some of y'all would even put the things on. Some of y'all would put things that the father would did onto the child and treat the child the same way because of your bitterness. That's not right. Some of y'all taking out your own trauma on your own damn children. Hey, beautiful sunrise and sunsets. Hey, Duke, what's going on? Y'all gotta stop doing that. Don't you know? Look at this. 1/4 of adult children estranged from a parent. Adult children are saying this: fuck you. I'm being real. Look at this. More than one quarter of young adults are estranged from one or both parents, or been or have been finding that suggests a societal away from traditional bonds of family. Several studies, articles, and hot selling books have hinted that young America is rejecting the biblical adage, quote unquote, honor thy mother and father, along with the attended concept in compulsory kinship. Instead, young adults are picking who will populate their families. Meaning they finding their own families. They are finding their own spouse and creating their own family. They are setting up boundaries. They are setting up boundaries. They are saying, you know what? I'm tired of all of this narcissism. I'm tired of dealing with gaslighting. I'm tired of all of the narcissistic manipulated tactics. And they saying, the hell with you. I'm going to build my own. I'm the same damn way. You understand? One recent study drawn on thousands of interviews. Listen, one recent study drawn on thousands of interviews with adult children found that 26% reported estrangement from fathers. A much smaller share, 6%, had cut ties with mothers. The findings appeared in the April issue of the Journal of Marriage and Family. Look, it said, I think it relates to a new desire to have healthy relationships. There might be some cultural shifts around people being allowed to choose who is in your family. And that can include not choosing to have the person who raised you be in your family. Think about that. Meaning they creating their own family. Or they looking at bonds between people outside of their family as their family. Like their soul family. They are cutting off the blood family to get with their soul family or to create their own family. You gotta look at that. I'm witnessing that right now. I'm witnessing that. Look at that. Popular culture has brimmed of late of narratives of Gen Z adults cutting off helicopter parents. Books with titles such as Rules of Estrangement, Fault Lines, Fractured Families, and How to Mend Them have flown off the shelves. Rules of Estrangement. Them books are flying off the shelves. Parents, y'all in trouble, especially y'all boomers. Baby boomers, y'all in deep trouble. Even Generation X, y'all in trouble. Several surveys and studies have found that pockets of young Americans who sever contacts with parents. Listen, several surveys and studies have found young pockets of Americans who sever contact with parents. I've seen one video, this one lady, her daughter cut her off, erased her from her life. She hasn't heard from her daughter in 7 years. 7 years. Some parents haven't heard from their children in over 10. They are blocking them from social media, email, everything. Mm, mm. Parent, perhaps one adult child in 10 is in income. Look at that. In community incommunicado with mom or dad at any given moment. Over the course of young adulthood, Razek found at least 1 in 4 Americans will break things off with a parent. Many rifts ultimately heal. In the pre internet era, cutting off a parent might have been changing the telephone number and tearing up the occasional letter. It's harder now with Instagram and Twitter and text messaging. But estranged 20 somethings find a way. Let me tell you, parents, you in trouble. Y'all are in deep trouble with your children. Your children, they got many more ways than one to cut you off. They block or refuse email messages. They refuse to engage any social media. The if gifts are offered, they are returned unopened, said Carl Pillimer, a Cornell University sociologist of and author of Fault Lines. Mm, 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 mm. Look at this. Instagram influencers, I've seen it, joined by an army of therapists, have encouraged young adults towards the view that quote unquote you don't owe your parents anything, and that your first obligation is to you and your happiness, Coleman said, meaning they are rejecting that you owe your parents. You really don't. They are encouraged to look at the viewpoint you owe your parents everything. And your obligation is to you, meaning they are choosing their own happiness over being around their parents. And I'm going to say this, I agree with them. If your parent is narcissistic, you don't have to honor them. You don't have to honor them. Mm. Look at that, guided by those voices, young adults increasingly views parents as a source of trauma and estrangement as a path to healing, meaning they gonna cut you off and they gonna be estranged from you. Meaning I don't want to deal with you for my personal happiness and my mental health. Why do you think you see so many? I'm telling you, go on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. You will see so many videos, and it doesn't matter but race, color, or creed. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, they all going ham on narcissism and cut it off their parents. Parental estrangement is on the rise. Even if some of y'all may try to be a surrogate parent, you want to be a father figure, guess what? They going to become estranged to you. I was estranged to my family. Then they started calling my phone. Seriously. They are becoming estranged to their parents. Why? Because they had enough of your shit. Yup, look at that. And guess what? Amara Vincent? Everybody is saying that. They had to cut off narcissistic ties, generational curses. They said they are doing it to break the cycle of generational curses. Let me tell you something. I agree with them. They saying the hell with y'all. Mm, 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 mm. Let me tell you, man. Parental estrangement is on the rise. Mm, 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 mm. I'm proud of this young generation. Look at this. Breaking generational curses. Why Gen Z and millennials are cutting off their families. The Capella case for going no contact. Mm, 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 mm. Let me read this. Those of us who are millennials are part of older generations, grew up being told that family is everything, you need to stick by them, and if you don't get along. The typical excuse of, but their family, which is often justified overlooking horrible family behavior, and this rationale worked for many generations. That's not the case now. Gen Z and millennials are not having it anymore and breaking generational curses by cutting off their family so they can heal from traumatic childhoods and not let the abuse continue into adulthood. I'm gonna let it stop right there. Mm, 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 mm. They cutting y'all off. They saying we breaking a generational curse. They said we ain't having it. And guess what? Gen Z millennials, we ain't having it no more. The number of Americans going no contact is huge and continues to grow. A 2020 study by Carl Pillimer, a professor of Cornell University and author of Fault Lines, Fractured Families, and How to Mend Them, found that 27% of Americans over the age of 18 were estranged from a family member. That's about 67 million people. What? Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I hope I'm not too loud. Okay, thanks. I just see you over there studying. I ain't wanna. Oh, okay. Oh, you can relate. Okay. Yup. Look at that. 67 million people. Look at that. That's a lot. 67 million people are estranged from families. Do you hear that? 67 million people. But Pillimer believes the number is much higher and being underreported because it's a difficult topic for many people to discuss and can be a source of shame. Look at this. This is on TikTok with quote unquote no contact on TikTok having over 1.6 billion views. Millennials and Generation Z are taking mental health serious and cutting off toxic ties. Look at that number. 1.6 billion views of, listen, I've seen it. They on TikTok and YouTube going ham. They ain't dealing with y'all no more. Y'all as older family members, y'all in trouble. Baby boomers, y'all are in trouble. Even Generation X, y'all are in deep trouble. You got two generations that are rebellious and saying fuck y'all. Mm, 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 mm. The case for no contact. Pillimer was able to survey over 1,300 people in the study, which is the largest of its kind. He found that 10% reported being estranged from a parent or child, 8% from a sibling, and 9% from extended family members, including cousins, aunts and uncles, grandparents, nieces and nephews. Mm, mm, mm. Look at that. He also reported that the most common reasons why people end up estranged from their family are harsh parenting, parental favoritism, and parental divorce. Y'all, as older families, y'all do not understand how much y'all are destroying your own children in your own generation. Generation Z and millennials, mm, 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 mm. They had enough of y'all. Millennials and Generation Z, they are waxing. Mm, mm, mm. Look at that. There's so many articles. Why so many young people cutting off their parents? Mm, 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 mm. Look, I'm reading another article. They said the number went up to 1.9 billion. Look at that. Discuss their own crisis. The hashtag quote unquote toxic family has 1.9 billion views on TikTok. No contact has 1.6 billion. No toxic family. Those hashtags are in the billions on TikTok. 1.6 of no contact, 1.9 billion on no, I'm looking at on toxic family. Being suggested American families are severing ties at an all-time high. Look at that. It TikTok is to believe attitudes about estrangement fought along generational lines. Boomers accuse millennials and Gen Zers of being too quick to cut contact, while younger generations push back by saying you don't have to tolerate acceptable behavior just because someone is related to them by blood. Exactly. You hear that? Listen, boomers accuse millennials and Gen Zers of being too quick to cut contact, while younger generations push back by saying you don't have to tolerate unacceptable behavior just because you're related to them by blood. Exactly. Certain young people are feared to be less far regularly beholden to the idea of family obligation above all else, even at the cost of their own happiness. The norms that force families to stick together no matter what have weakened. Oh yes. Noted that difficult childhood experiences, value, and lifestyle differences and unmet expectations are some of the factors driving estrangement. That's because a lot of families they treat certain family members through favoritism. That what I mean that makes people feel child abandonment. The person watching you sleep will realize you waking up before you do. Family first to see you shine a fortune first try to block it. Exactly, Marvin Fiston. Hey, African Soul Star. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Look at that. The norms that force families, look at that, have weakened. There is a less and overwhelming there is a less overwhelming normative guideline that you must stick with your family no matter what. There's a sense among younger people today that if the relationship is adversive over a long period of time, they have the ability to get out of it. Why do you think children are going to college and never returning back? Now I understand why so many. You know what? Now I see why so many children was excited to get away from their parents going to college. Remember the days when certain people would go to college, they would just wild out and have fun? Now I can understand why. They got away from that control of narcissism from their parents. Yep, families are used by gang stalking. Yep. Mm-mm-mm. How pervasive family estrangement has become is also evident in pop culture. On her daytime talk show, Drew Barrymore talks about her emancipation from her parents at 14 and hosts celebrities like Johnnette McCurdy. I don't know that person. And host celebrities like Johnnette McCurdy, best-selling author. Look at this. I'm glad my mom died. Do you hear this? There was a young guy who was on Uncle Phil's show. He was saying he hoped his parents died. Now, when I was young, I'm looking like he's crazy. But the older I get, I'm like, you know what? I can understand them. That's right. People are leaving they people are leaving their homes, they leaving their towns, they are leaving their whole families and going no contact. They saying goodbye forever. Remember the days we used to hear certain family members like, yo, why so and so don't come around no more? Why they don't come around no more? Now we understand why. Who opened up about her tumultuous relationship with her mother. But as ambiguous as the phenomenon can seem, the reality behind each separation is layered and is layered in individual as the families themselves. Look at that. You see, when Jordan, 32, decided to leave the church in early adulthood, tension rose between her and her father because her parents were married. Jordan says she held back from cutting her dad off despite the fights they had about religion, politics, and her exit from the church. But after one last explosive call, Jordan hung up the phone and had a moment of clarity. She realized she was finished, done. Looking back, she said she's lucky she waited that long. When he called and texted her repeatedly, Jordan didn't budge. It's an extreme privilege to have a great relationship with your adult children, she says. I was always hoping while we weren't talking that he would take my silence to cue to get himself together, apologize to me. Then after a year, he said the year after their estrangement, Jordan's dad was hospitalized. She took a red-eye flight to be by her mother's side. and said goodbyes to her incarnate father who died as she got there. Now she finds herself grieving a complicated relationship. She thinks she did the right thing, but part of her grief something that she'll never know of. Given more time, he could have ever changed. Threaded into so many stories is the same hope Jordan had that maybe the nuclear act of estrangement would eventually bring the strings closer, you know what I mean, like cutting hair to try to make it grow longer. That's how it was for Rose. 21 says she used to be dad's princess before her father's heroin addiction escalated to the point that Rose felt to make forced to make a choice. Mm 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 mm. You see that, yo? A lot of y'all as parents, man, y'all are doing bad parenting, yo. So many young people, yo, amongst millennials and Generation Z. So many, look at that, yo. The younger generation is like, bye, see ya. Millennials and Generation X. Mm, 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 mm. It ain't the fact y'all breaking up with us, we breaking up with y'all. Look at that child estrangement. It's on the rise. Yup, it's really on the rise. Your parents rent to you for a period of time. Yeah, look at that. Yup, parent. Parent. And the parent make it seem like, and guess what? As you get older, the parent wants you to pay rent. Huh. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Look at that. Yep. Look at that. Yep. And at the same time, I mean, I can't really, you can't really blame the younger generation because, they really had enough. The younger generation, they are saying, like, you know what? I had enough of this crap. You feel me? Like, I don't even want to deal with you. You feel me? Can you imagine you growing up and your child doesn't want nothing from you? They cut all ties from you and never want to see you again? Can you really imagine that? Can you really imagine that, yo? Your child don't want nothing to do with you? Mm-mm-mm-mm. That right. That is because in today's world, a lot of these parents, man, like I said, they are really failing, yo. They go around here with the gaslighting and making it seem like, oh, I raised you, I did this, that, and the third. You owe it to your mother, and it's like, I still really wonder, like, what do I owe to her? What do we owe to our parents? You don't owe them anything. You don't owe your parents nothing, yo. Hey, Classy Creole. They know there's a lot of parents teaching things. Thank you, Deshaun Coleman. Yes, a lot of things our parents are teaching are outdated. I gotta be real. A lot of the boomers are outdated, yo. See, they think they form a parenting is that they think they're supposed to talk to us any kind of way, and we supposed to sit there and take it. No, you don't do that. And another thing where the boomers are failing, they talk to their children like they one of them niggas on the damn street. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to respect your child. A lot of parents, you don't know how to respect your children. A lot of parents, they do not. They talk to them, they cuss them out like they one of the niggas on the street. And another thing what parents are doing, they taking out their anger and their trauma on their children. And a lot of toxic mothers, they are treating their sons like the damn boyfriend. And what they doing is with the daughter, they are in competition with the daughter. They treat their son like the husband, and they treat the daughter for real like competition. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, I have to constantly checking my mom for talking to me like I'm still a child. Shit is annoying, yes. And then they always want to pull that, you still my child. But guess what? That doesn't give a reason to talk to your child any kind of way. It's like, look, man, like your child is grown. Eventually, after a while, man, it's like, when your child is grown, they not going to tolerate certain things. They grown now. And the funny, and what's wrong is that they will tell you to grow up, but yet they still want to look at you like a child. And listen, you got to let your child grow. You have to let your child grow. And the thing about it is, a lot of them don't even want their children to grow up. Look at this. I'm on Instagram, and the hashtag no contact is at 377K. Man, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, narcissism has really destroyed these last two generations. And let me tell you something. They are going no contact. They doing that for. They are doing it to help heal a lot of the traumas, man. Sociopaths, psychopath, and narcissists, man. People are really, I'm telling you, man, these next two generations, man, Gen Z and millennials, we going to break the generational curse, yo. Our generation, we are breaking. I'm telling you, man, they they not playing, yo. We not playing. Exactly right. Yep, they love trying to guilt trip you, but let me tell you something, man. All of the guilt tripping is not going to save you. That guilt tripping, man, or what you parents are doing, let me tell you, it's only driving you away and it's making things even worse. Hey, Classy Creole. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It's real, yo. They are cutting off families, they are cutting off people, and they are saying, you know what, I'm going to build my own. And guess what? The thing about it is, we not the only ones. Yeah, it is. It's a curse in the cycle. And you said you're guilty of it, trying to change. Okay, but I'm glad you take accountability, Keto Law. I appreciate that. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, they are. They are breaking away, and they are starting. They are starting their own families. They going no contact. They saying the hell with all of this. I'm doing me. Yup. Yes, they do. They love using the Bible as manipulation. Yup. And here's another thing. Yeah, here's another thing why, what I mean, we breaking the mold. A lot of us, we stopped going to church. A lot, yeah, yo. The reason why, because we got our own minds. See, part of the reason why we breaking away, because we want to have our own mind. Like too many parents, they want to try to control the mind. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are choosing. Yes, they are. They are choosing their own happiness. They are choosing their own happiness now. Real talk, yo. They not going for it. And I don't blame them, you know? They are tired of the narcissistic abuse and the triangulation and the manipulation tactics. You remember your cousin said people try to sabotage me, only way have to make money. They help people. What? Damn, and Marvin Fenton, I'm sorry you have to go through that, man. That's sad. That's really, really sad, yep. The innocent parents that love to use the Bible try to control you. Oh yeah, they love doing that, yes. Because I remember the one time this one lady, she said she was up there treating her son because he looked like the father, but she really had to check herself. Why? Because the son looked like the father, and she started to treat him the same way. I went through the same way, but my mother. That's why, I noticed like the older that I got, I felt it even when it came down to my family. My family, they used to treat me a certain kind of way because I looked like my father and stuff like that. They would tell me like you look just like your father, and my mother would never smile and stuff like that. And I even noticed she would just talk to me a certain kind of way for real. Like my mom was, like I said, she a good mother had some good qualities, but she was a bitter woman. Yeah, my mom was real bitter, and the older that I got, I've noticed she tried to control me more. The reason why, because she saw that I was growing, and I really felt like I really believed that my mother, she loved my father so much. When my father left her, that really crushed her. So, when I left, that crushed her. She probably felt like, damn, like, he left. His father left me, now he gone. And my mother died alone. Yep, my mother died alone. All the men she had in her life, she pushed them away. My mom pushed all the men away in her life. She pushed away my brother's father. She pushed my brother away. My brother got away from her. My father got away from her. And guess what? I got away from her. My mother should have really looked at herself like, what am I doing wrong? Her attitude and her bitterness pushed all the men away. And me and my brother, we came to the conclusion we loved her, but she was bitter. My mom became a bitter woman. Yes, she did. Yeah, they won't never be. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yep. They will not let the hate die. And see, that's what killed her. That bitterness and that hatred in her doing that, it really crushed her. When I left, man, it really crushed my mother because she was probably thinking like the same way how my father left, and I'm gone and got married. You know what? Because I think I heard it from my uncle that I'm not even sure, but I think my father might have been dealing with somebody else. But who knows? Maybe my father started to deal with another woman, or because my mother probably pushed him away. So we started dealing with somebody else. So guess what? By me leaving my mom to get married, that probably reminded of my father leaving her. So when I left and I got married, she probably felt like, damn, this happened to me again. Wow, Marvin Fenster, you mother help people break into your home, put your name in her lease. What? That's crazy, Marvin Fenster. I'm sorry. See that classy Creole? Yup. I know that's what happened to my father. He left her because of her. Exactly. Now come to see, we really got to look at what our parents did. Here's another thing that we can help heal. We really got to take a look at. It's like the older we get, we really got to look at what our parents were doing. They were not perfect. Some of us might have had good parents, but they still had their ways. It's not to take away, you know what I mean now. But now, if I say if you had a really narcissistic parent, I can understand it. But like I said, our parents still had some fucked up ways about them. That's right. Yep, mama is not always innocent. Tell them, Classy Creole. Mothers are not always innocent like you think they are. See, we've been painted that picture to always look at the father being wrong. We also got to look at the mother. Because I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real with you. My mother lied to me about my father. When I looked up the case about my father, even, yep, yep, when I looked up the case about my father, it showed that my father complained repeatedly he wanted to see me, but she would not let me see him, and my family knew about it. My fucking family knew about that shit. And see, family members, the reason why children are abandoning their families because there's way too many goddamn secrets, and children are finding out about what their parents did. That's the reason why your children abandoning you. Why? Because you were lying to your children. The first people that lie to their children are parents. Parents are the first liars in the world to their children. It ain't the world, it's parents. Parents are the first liars to their children. The first people that lie to their children are parents. Tell me if I'm wrong. The first people that lie to their children are parents. Parents are the first liars in the world that lie to their child. Parents, you are the first and biggest liars in this world to your child. It ain't everybody else, it's you. The first people that lie to their children are parents. Yup, thank you, Deshaun. As soon as you come out of the womb, they lying. Parents are the first liars to their children. The second people that lie are teachers. Parents and teachers are the first liars to children in this world. Soon as you come out of the womb, you're being lied to. Wow, Marvin Fenton, wow. I'm sorry to hear all that, yo. And now I'm going to tell you this. If your parents don't respect you, you don't got to respect them nor be around them. You don't got to honor them. That's right. Parents supposed to be the first role models. But parents are the first liars. Mm. Mm-hmm. Parents, you lie. Your parents lie about the relationship with their family, with their father. They tell lies about holidays. They tell lies about religion. Yep. And now I'm going to tell you this. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you all this question. What if all the people that is leaving their families were the chosen ones? What if all the people that are leaving their families to break the cycle, what if all of those 67 million people were the chosen ones? You know what? I could be on to something. This is the time to cut the wheat from the tare. Think about it, Classic Rio. What if all of those people that are leaving their families, what if all of them was the chosen ones? They said 67 million people. 6 and 7. You get the number 13. Something to think about. And look what's in the chat. 31 people and 31 likes. Reverse it is 13. You feel me, Deshaun? Think about it. What if all of us was leaving our families right about now were the chosen ones to get away? Yup. All of the black sheep of the family are leaving their families right now. All of the black. Think about it. Ain't it something? Think about that. What if this was the time that the chosen ones was leaving their families to get us ready to break the generational curse? I'm serious. They said 67 million people. They cutting off. They are cutting off families. Look at this. This is in Newsweek. If you don't gotta believe me, this was last year. Look, 10%. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Look at that. Look, 1 in 4 Americans are estranged from their families. 67 million people. That's a lot. That's a lot of people who do not talk to their parents. Parental estrangement. Look at that. And I'm going to tell you, the pandemic really exposed it. What are those 67 million with all the chosen ones? What are all of them was black sheep? That's a lot of people. 67 million? That's a lot. What if all of them was the chosen ones? What if all of them was the black sheep of the family? What if all of this was happening right now to get us ready to come in to bring us something better? What if all of us were separated at this time so we can all meet up with one another as the chosen? 67 million people have gotten away from their families. Do you understand that? And it's on the rise. It's on the rise. Yo, let me ask you this question. What if all of us were separating? You feel me? So they can get that karma for what they did. You know how they say the sins of the mothers and the fathers will be visited unto the children, right? What if all these parents right about now was to start to catch their karma? What if the pandemic was some of you parents' karma? You know a lot of parents have died during the pandemic. What if that pandemic was their curse? Seriously. What if the pandemic was their curse? Because you know the pandemic took out a lot of older people. Think about it. What if that pandemic was these people's curse? Don't you know a lot of older people was taken out during that time? And there was a lot of boomers. What if that pandemic was that curse? Who did they target first? The elderly. What if? What if that was their curse? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Guess what, yo? Yes, you need to cut off your family members if they're not good. It's in the Bible. They got 35 Bible verses about cutting family ties. That's a lot. Mm, that's a lot of Bible verses. Mm-mm-mm. Yep. Bible verse about toxic family members. Yep. Yep. That's right. Yep. It's not unchristian to cut off toxic family members. Yes. Blood is thicker than water. Mm-mm. We are starting to see that. Blood is thicker than water. It's not always. Blood thicker than water. That's one of the biggest lies ever told. Do not believe that. Blood is Blood thicker than water? It's definitely not thicker than water. It's not. Blood is not thicker than water. Remember that. Yup, everybody is really beginning to see that blood is not thicker than water. It's not always like that. That's right, Myron. Yup. You know what we doing? Generation X and millennials, Gen Z and millennials, we are breaking the ties. We were the ones that came back to break the tie. Let me tell you something, chosen ones. You were not meant to be around your family forever. You're not. You're not meant to be around your family forever. Yes, you're not meant to be around them forever. That's right. Yep. We have been born in these toxic families. And you're right. And what you really got to understand, man, like, you're not meant to be around forever, yo. You're not meant to be around them forever. You're not. You're not meant to be around them forever. So always remember that. I want to give a shout out to this sister right here. I think her name's Shavi Zane, Tarot Investigator. Yeah, yep. Yo, this is a shout out to this wonderful sister right here. Shout out to her. She does great things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she talks really good. What up, Jerry? What's going on, bro? Shout out to her. You gotta check out her video. Shavi Zane, Terror Investigator. She made a really good video. Shout out to her and subscribe to this sister. Shout out to if I had a name, if I didn't pronounce her name right, I apologize. But but she this video right here is really deep. That's right, yep. Because inside of your families, you got a lot of demonic forces inside of your family. You understand that's part of the reason why you've been rejected. So guess what? What the chosen wasn't really doing right about now, but their parents, they are rejecting them and their families. Why? Because they have been rejected and neglected all of their lives. So they are choosing to have peace and they're going to go where they can really be celebrated and they can also celebrate themselves and they find their own friends and they find their own families to where as though that they can, really be around the kind of right people, man. Because what you really got to understand, I would hear it all the time. I tried to be close to my family, but I would always hear, we're not always going to be around forever. And guess what? You're right about that. We're not going to be around each other forever. But the thing about it is, when that person breaks away and they want to go on their own thing, then family members should not get mad at them. Why? Because you already showed to them they don't, you know what I mean? You already showed to them you really don't want to have them around like that. So they looking at it, why should I be around family members when you consistently are showing me you don't want me around? A lot of them, they are tired of the gaslighting, the manipulation tactics. People are being told you got to stick around, you got to just shut up and deal with it. People are tired of that. They want to have their own voice, they want to have their own mind. So what you got to understand is that if they don't want to be around you, you got to understand that. It's like they don't want you to be around, but then they want you around. But to see, family got to get it together, yo. One minute they want you around, but then the next minute they don't want you around. But see, when you're around, they don't want you around. But when you're not around, they want to ask you a bunch of damn questions. Listen, you're not obligated. If you know what I mean, just like they would tell me, right? Just like sometimes family would tell me, like, we ain't obligated to help you, but right, but guess what? I turn around and say the same thing, but we your family, so what? You my family. If you ain't obligated to help me, I'm not obligated to help you. You know, when I started my YouTube channel, I had no family support from family nor friends, but guess what? I kept going. Even when I was up here doing the YouTube, they was up there laughing at me. Yes, they have, Robert and Niso. Baby boomers, they have destroyed the society. Yes, they have. The baby boomers, they so off, yo. The baby boomers, man, they are way off and they are outdated. You know what we doing? The 67 million people have broken away from their families. You best believe they gotta be the chosen ones. We are gonna be the ones that's gonna break the cycle. The boomers, they are keeping the generational curses on. Yup, the baby boomers. Yup, the baby boomers. Yup, they are so far behind. I'm gonna be real, man. They outdated. A lot of the boomers, they are just so outdated. They are outdated. I gotta be real. Why do you think the younger generation don't listen to them? Yup, doom and gloom. Yup. The boomers, they still stuck in the damn 70s. While your father Jehovah Witness totally turned his back on my mother and us. Wow, see that? And I'm gonna tell you, man, like, yo, because when they come down to it, like I said, man, like when they come down to it, family only wants you around for certain reasons. You feel me? Yes. The boomers are so outdated, yo. Why you think the younger generation don't listen to them? Why? Because they are outdated. It's a new day. Now, some of the things that they have taught, I can respect, but a lot of their ways are outdated. It don't work no more. It doesn't work. Everything that they are saying and doing is falling on deaf ears. Younger generation don't listen to them. The baby boomers, man, they I gotta be real, they done. Yo, the mindset of boomers have doomed us. That rhyme, the mindset of boomers have doomed us. Yes. Oh yeah, that's right, Robert and so yup. Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of hope. A lot of people are waking up, yo. I gotta be real. It's like our parents, they have cast on, the boomers have cast a narcissistic spell on our society, even their children. I believe something has happened to the boomers, man. Like they got brainwashed over the years. Hmm. Everyone is waking up, yo, and I'm telling you, they are breaking the mold and they are bringing in about change. 67 million people are estranged from their family. They are cutting ties, and the numbers are going up. Oh yeah, Robert and so you welcome, bruh. Yes, they are estranged. They are going about their own journey. They are living their own life how they see fit. They are not going to listen to you, boomers. I gotta tell you, the boomers are doomed, yo. The boomers are doomers. I'm telling you, man, it does not look good, yo. Um, It does not look good, yo. Mm, 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 mm. Seriously, yo. Why you think you saw me by myself? Why you think you always saw me by myself? See, the reason why you by yourself because you never fit the mold of your family. You were never meant to fit the mold of your family. We never fit the mold. We was always the black sheep, the scapegoat. We was always like that. The black sheep of the family, the scapegoat. Hmm. We was always that. The black sheep, the scapegoat, all of that. And now, what people are doing, they like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I don't blame them. You can't blame them. And I gotta be real. A lot of y'all as parents, a lot of y'all gonna be down alone, yo. If I'm telling you, man, if y'all don't get it together, or at least try to fix or parent, y'all in deep trouble, yo. No, you cannot. You can't ever hold a conversation about a new idea with them, maybe shut it down, talk down on it because they don't understand the long game of what it would do. Exactly, yup. A lot of our parents, they are narrow minded. They are just stuck on one thing. They are very stuck on one thing, and there's nothing you can do. So you know what I say to that? If you become estranged from your family or your people, then guess what? Then do what you got to do as necessary. Just like there's certain family members I don't talk to, but like I said, I understand that we're not always going to be around. But guess what? Just like I'm estranged by certain family members. Like we don't talk all the time. You know? Exactly. Yep. Because I got to be real. A lot of our parents, a lot of the things they taught us, we need to unlearn. We need, yep, yep, mm-hmm. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why I was talking about leaving my hometown, the chosen ones, and shout out to this brother, Mark the Messenger. Look at this video right here. Chosen ones must leave their hometown. Shout out to Mark the Messenger. See that? Look at that. Look at that. Yup, we must, yup, you gotta leave. In order for us to grow, we gotta go. Yeah, shout out to Mark the Messenger. Shout out to that brother. Yup, you must leave. Let me tell you, man, you gotta leave. hmm Say it again, African Soul Star. Yep, say it again. You must leave. You must leave. Not, I'm not talking about the land. I'm talking about your hometown. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yup. All chosen ones, you're gonna have to separate from your family. Yes. Even if you're around your family, you still gotta be distant. Damn. Yup. You must become distant. Mm-hmm. Yup. There's a chosen one in every family. Mm-hmm. 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 That's right. Remember that, yo. You don't owe your siblings nothing. Oh yeah. Shout out to Denzel. Most breaking impasse free. Shout out to that brother. He been talking about it. Trinius Henderson. Yep. When God separates you from your family and your friends. Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. You need to separate. Yep. They're curses. Yep. See, the reason why all of us are coming out because it's time we gotta break the generational curses. We were back at this time frame to break away from our families, to break away generational curses. Yes, they are, Red Jewel. It seems like the boomers, like holding on the grudges and refusing to heal, they are negative. Yup. You're going to have to separate from your parents, yo, and your families. You want to know why? A lot of them are still holding grudges, yo. A lot of them are still holding grudges, and I gotta tell you, family, yep, there's a lot of generational curses in your family, so you must separate. And the reason why they want to hold you back because they don't want you to break the curse. A lot of your family members, they see you as the one breaking the curse, and they don't want you to do it. And that's why now you got 67 million, and I'm willing to bet you they are the chosen ones that are separated from their families. And I'm going to tell you something. 2024, you're going to see a separation like no other. You are going to be seeing people move away. That number is going to double. If it's 67 million, it's going to be more than double. Next year, you are going to see family betrayal at an all-time high. You are going to be seeing people separated from their families like you never seen. Going into 2024, watch. You are going to be seeing people move away like never before. The chosen ones, we are going to be moving out of our hometowns. Watch. God is going to remove us away. Some sort of way, an opportunity is going to come to where you're going to be moving out of town. Yes, they are classy crib. The boomers are heavily attached to this old world. Generation X isn't. Can't wait to hand this messed up place back to them folks. Yup. Yup. Like I said, even some Generation X. Yup. Between Generation X, Millennials, and Gen Z, we not fucking playing. Watch. You were going to see a separation. People going to be separated from their families like you've never seen. Why? Family betrayal is going to happen like you've never seen. Oh yeah, that's real Presses 101. Yup. Yup. They said, what if you leave and they know somehow where you are? Stories where they become obsessed with you because somehow they're getting money. Yeah, exactly. Yup. The minute when you're not around them, guess what, yo? The minute when you're not around them, let me tell you something, yo. In order for you to grow, you gotta let go of your hometown. If you want to free your dome, you gotta leave home. Ooh, that's another rhyme. If you want to free your dome, you got to leave your home. If you want to free this dome, you got to leave your home. Facts. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yes, they are. The boomers are controlling it too damn program for me. Yes, they are. They stuck, yo. I'm telling you. If you want to free your dome, you got to leave your home. Mm-hmm. You right about that. Presses 101. Yup. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The black sheep. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter about race, color, or creed, you know. They all around us. Hmm. You gotta separate. Mm, 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 mm. So let me tell you something. If you think you're seeing family estrangement now, let me tell you something. You're going to be seeing it more than double. You are going to see it more than double. That's right, yeah. They cannot keep up with you. And I'm going to tell you something, yo. When you leave, let me tell you what's going to happen next year. When we leave our hometown, what's going to happen is this: all hell going to break loose. And a lot of things are going to unfold. A lot of things are going to unfold. I'm going to tell you this. Everybody that was coming against you in your family, you were going to see them turn on each other. You were going to be hearing about family betrayal like you never before. We got 67. The boomers might as well travel back in time to the era. Yes, exactly. Yup, the judgment will come down. Exactly. Yup. Because what is going on with the family estrangement, well, you know what I'm saying, with the chosen ones are going to be put up on a very high, not pedestal, but they're going to be raised into like a better, in a better place. And what you're going to see, you were going to see a lot of destruction in families. A lot of families are going to self-destruct. They begin way, they be getting depressed about them, right? Oppressed about then holidays too. Yes, yep. What up, Judah 144? You were going to be hearing more and more people getting away from their families. More people are going to separate from their families. What is going on with this? It is separating the wheat from the tare. Yup. Which means when they saying come out of my people, you even got to get away from the people that got the mindset of this world. The reason why we wasn't loved the most by our family because we not of this world. They are just family. I mean, they are just family members that you know what I mean that we grew up to know. But our real soul family, we are going to be called amongst one another. That's what's happening. You were seeing the soul family, they are being called. 67 million. What if all of those 67 million were chosen ones? Seriously. What if those 67 million were the chosen ones? Thank you, Classy Creole, for putting up the links. That's a damn good question, Presence 101. Exactly, Judah 144. Yup. You know, you're going to have to separate. You need to be on your own journey, chosen ones. You need to be on your own journey. You feel me? Oh man, yup. So yeah, fam, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump off here for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and get me something to take care of some little business. But like I said, it's been another really good stream, another really great talk, family, because I know many of y'all can really relate to this talk for real about what's going on. You feel me? And like I said, I mean, don't feel bad because you're really not alone because You got millions of people out there that are just like you. You know what I'm saying? If they not just like you, they in the same position, just like you, going through it, just like you. You feel me? So remember that. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean if you want to separate, that doesn't mean that you hate them. It means you're protecting your peace of mind. They want to, you know what I mean? You are protecting your peace of mind. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So yeah, fam, I hate to get off of here, man, but I love doing these streams with y'all. And like I said, though, family, y'all go ahead and enjoy your day. Enjoy. Yeah, we don't celebrate Christmas, but you know, if you all gonna be around your peoples, you know what I mean. We already know the deal. Just be quiet. You know what I mean? Be cool, cause they're gonna be asking us about a lot of questions about what we doing and all this other crap. You feel me? So, like I said, fam. So, one love once again, family. Peace out.